Because I've seen Johnny L once in 20 years of this guy making music, so it's going to be an honour and a pleasure for me to speak with Johnny L. That is coming up real soon. Right, from one legend, we've got probably the most mysterious character in drum and bass. And, you know, the way this guy has been, I think he's created this whole mystique, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. A cult producer, you ask any producer in drum and bass, who's their top 4 or 5 producers, and more often than not, this guy will be right at the top of the pile. It's a pleasure to introduce to you the mighty Johnny L. What is up, Johnny?
Hey.
That's the intro and a half, right?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Listen, man, it's an honour to have you here, because we've been trying to get you here for years.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened because I know you're such a busy man and stuff like that. And but listen, man, what you been up to?
Music.
Yeah.
Just lots of recording, and recording.
So a day in the life of Johnny L. What's the day in the life of Johnny? Johnny gets up and it's like, you know, it's a music thing, like it's kind of like 24-hour thing for you.
I mean, at the moment it is. I mean, it didn't used to be. Obviously, I used to go out a lot more on the road, do gigs and stuff. But I mean, recently, it's just been, as you know, the sales are so bad and everything's down on the selling records.
For real?
That I've had to work a lot harder, try and up the game, up the tunes a little bit. So I'd say normal day is get up at sort of 2-3 in the afternoon.
As you do. Standard.
Have a little breakfast. You know, a little toast with peanut butter or something, and then straight down to the studio, and you know, it's just blinds shut and doors shut, and I'm in there for the night. Yeah,
because you know what, I'm a nighttime man, and because you know we've been in the game a long time, and when you've been in the game a long time, you're up 4 o'clock in the morning is like a normal person's 7 in the evening. So like 4 o'clock in the morning, I know you're random because you'll text me and like, Fab, I've got this tune for you. Don't know if you're gonna like it. Get online now, and you'll send me a tune literally at 4 in the morning. Come online for like 5 minutes and then you're gone. And you know, that's the way you do your thing, man, and I love that about Johnny L, man. But so you stay up all night. It's an all night thing.
I've tried going back the other way. I mean, I tried doing days and the music just suffers.
Really?
And I think now it's something to do with the time of night that you lay a mix down, or for me, anything after 12 o'clock, it seems to work better on the music. And I mean, I tried that remix that you've got there from the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
That I tried a mix for that in the daytime, and it came out horrible. You know, it was really bad. It just wasn't happening. So I thought, okay,
you hadn't woken up. That's why, man.
No. I'd woken up. I mean, I thought, okay, I'll switch my habit. I'll go on to like, I don't know, 8 or 9 in the morning, get up.
For real.
And I tried it. Didn't work. Tried it again. Didn't work. Sent something into the guys, and they were like, you know, it's okay, but you know,
it's not really what we wanted.
Yeah, it's not really what we wanted. So I thought, okay, I'll go back to nights, and the magic just came. You know, it's like there's something extra that you get on a record at night, and I think
maybe it's just a vibe thing, man.
Mate, yeah, I don't know what it is.
You know, the feeling, and I don't know. I know it's probably the atmosphere the night creates. It's probably more to do with that, man.
I don't know, man.
But it doesn't matter. As long as it works for you, that it doesn't matter, man. You do your thing at night. But listen, let's go back, man, because I don't know how you started off in this game. What was your first drum and bass moments, man?
Drum and bass?
Or do you go back before that? Of course, you must go back to the rave days.
I mean, when I started music, I was busking in a tube station with a little keyboard. With 303 and a drum machine.
Was it at Leicester Square? I think I remember you, you know.
I had long blonde, that raver style
that's
hair.
The cat,
okay.
Yeah. All right.
I had a little 303 set up and a drum machine, and that's really where I was probably 14 or 15, and I used to actually earn quite a lot of money from that.
No doubt, for real, man.
I mean, I've always loved music since a kid. I mean, at my primary school, they sort of, you know, put little fake violins up for us to see who looked like they could play, and they were like, yeah, that guy looks like he can play. So they were like, okay, you're in the orchestra. And then they gave me a little piano. So I mean, I've pretty much, that's all I've been.
You've been born to make music then. It's like you've been brought up.
I've been brought up in that's really the only thing. I mean, I didn't finish school, so you know, I had no choice. I had to make it work. I went and worked in the studio engineer when I was 15.
Wow, that's incredible.
And then we had people like, do you remember Betty Boo?
Yeah, Betty Boo, of course. Yeah, who made a little comeback the other day doing some house stuff.
Has she?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, all those, like, I was engineering for them and they were shouting at me going, oh, you know, you got to push it louder, because, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. So, I was sort of mixing it like someone who doesn't know what to mix, basically just turning loads of treble up and loads of bass and forgetting about the mids. So the producers are coming and going, look, you know, you got to learn how to mix a record properly. And I was like, well, you know, I haven't been shown how to. So, I mean, that just put straight in at the deep end. And from that, you know, you had to learn to survive. So,
yeah,
I mean,
for real,
you know,
man, because it's a jungle out there.
It's a jungle. I didn't want to lose the job. So basically, that's where I started off. And then my boss was a jazz pianist.
Okay.
And he taught me some nice chords. And from there on, you know, I mean, I've always loved soul music, but from there on, when I started playing the chords, it was like, you know, it led into writing and etc, etc.
Well, listen, you know what? We're going to get more onto that after the first track we're going to play. The first track we're going to play is that said remix you was talking about, the one that was giving you nightmares. This mix of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And I tell you what, this mix is dropping on the dance floors, man.
Is it?
Yeah, man, it's killing it on the dance floor. So you came up with the goods in the end, Johnny. You came up with the goods. It's Fabio and Johnny L. We're talking past, present and future with the man himself. You can hear Johnny L in the mix straight after our tour. The Radio 1 Drum and Bass Show. If you've just switched on, we are talking to Johnny L. And that was his remix of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, forthcoming on the Hospital Records. So Johnny, listen now, we was talking, you was telling us about the studio stuff and your love for soul music and stuff like that. How did you get into the dance stuff?
I mean, I've always loved dance.
So you was into electro and stuff like that?
Electro. In fact, there you go. You said it.
Yeah.
You've asked and answered the question.
Right.
Electro, that was the first time I really felt beats. I think it was Jam On It, Nucleus.
Wow, man, what a tune.
Yeah.
What a tune.
And we were going down Covent Garden watching the break dancers, trying to copy it, but obviously couldn't get the moves quite right. You know, dressed up in the full kit. What was it? The Chishini tracksuit.
Right, okay.
Those trainers with the 3 stripes. What was they?
I know the ones.
You know,
best not say it.
Best not say it. And then I had the wedge, you know, where you kept flicking the hair.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I think they called us a casual.
Yeah.
There was about 12 of us, and you know, we were just acting silly, basically. So anyway, that was where dance music started, and then obviously after that, I think it was Acid House.
Yeah.
And you know, the dungarees came out with the smileys and
so you've been into the whole fashion thing as well, yeah?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was just a young kid. You can't blame me, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, I ate that all up, man. And from there, I mean, I was a serious raver. I used to. You know, that was really what I lived for.
Where was the spots that you used to go to? Sunrise, Energies?
Sunrise, Telepathy, Camden Palace Friday night, Chris Paul.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
All of that stuff, all the raves, you know, we used to just get in mate's car, tune the radio, wait for him to finally reveal the location.
And then
bam, straight down there, man. And
incredible days, though, weren't they?
Incredible days.
I mean, people don't understand, you know, when you're a young man and that's happening, and, you know, we was living in a really kind of weird time at the time, and this was such enlightenment to us, and as young men doing this, it was so exciting. It's hard to explain and bring over to you the excitement that just one phone call, hearing where a gig was going to be, and just thousands of people en masse getting there. It was just crazy, man.
It was, man. And I mean, the thing is, I talk to kids today, 16, 17s, and I say to them, is it like that for you now? They're like, not at all. Not at all. And, you know, we sort of say, oh, well, you know, that was a one-off, but it was a one-off.
Yeah,
it wasn't just because we were young.
Yeah.
That was because that really was the start of a transformation. It was happening, man. And,
yeah, man.
You know, it left a serious imprint on my life, that. So, you know, I've got to respect everyone who set those raves up, and the guys selling hamburgers outside at the end and all that.
That was you. Yeah, damn. So listen, where did the switch come from going out raving? Because it's a big step to going out raving and then becoming a producer. What happened there?
I mean, that really took me up to probably 91, 92, Hurt You So.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of money come in, and I spent it on an Atari, a sampler, and a little mixing desk, and I built Hurt You So over a period of about 3 months. I needed to do quite a few mixes because obviously it was the first time I'd really done a tune on my own, and the very first one, it's probably the biggest tune I've ever put out. It's weird, man. Because
that's incredible.
The vibes on that record was just. I mean, I was mad in love with this girl, and we kept splitting up. That's what the record was about.
Oh, right.
So when she got hurt, I got a little kick out of that. Not in a horrible way, but just
in a slightly masochistic way.
A masochistic, romantic way.
For real.
Yeah, and so the record was written for her. If you're listening, she's called Anne. Hi, Anne.
No surname, dog.
Well, yeah. So that tune.
You know what? Hurt You So. I've got to tell you a quick tale before we go into the next tune. That tune was. I bought that in Red Records in Brixton, and I had. Probably the best gig that I've ever done. It was a wedding for a guy called Mickey Linus, who done Amnesia House in Northampton, and I played as the sun was setting about 8, 9 in the evening. I came on and I played that tune, and I'm not joking, man. The emotion that came out that night, man, from that tune, and that's still on videos, that people almost in tears with that tune because it was chugging along. It was like a standard techno tune, and then it had that incredible emotional drop in it.
Yeah.
That was just like such a tune, man. But listen, next track, this is actually a collaboration you've done with a couple of guys, this Darkestral Output.
Yep, that's right, Instrumental.
Who did you do this with?
Guys called Instrumental,
and
they're cool, man.
Yeah, they're good guys, and they're on the up at the moment, man. They're on the rise, definitely.
Yeah, no, I like the vibes, man.
This is a deep tune, man. This is a track entitled Output. This is Johnny L. It's Fabio here with Johnny L on Radio 1. So Johnny, now listen, you've had a lot of twists and turns in your career, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I know in the mid-90s, you decided to go and do some stuff with Miss Victoria Beckham, right?
Yep.
And that was under, who else was that with?
What do you mean? What
did you produce all the stuff?
I was say, yeah. I mean, I was in a band called True Steppers.
Yeah. And
there was 2 of us. And my partner was called Andy.
Okay.
And he was like less hands-on, more kind of ears come down, sort of near, and just sort of hear things over. So pretty much, I was writing it with Dane Bowers.
Okay. Who was in Another Level, right?
Yeah, he was in Another Level.
Okay.
And the track with Posh, that was really written with Dane and Andy.
So that must have been crazy to get that hook up as well,
ridiculous. Man. Yeah, I mean, it was just like...
What was the deal there, man? What was the deal?
Well, I mean, from coming from the raving, from D&B clubs, and then suddenly going to clubs where you're seeing 8-year-olds dance in front of you, man, it's like, okay. It just didn't feel right, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking across the stage and there's loads of 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, and, it's all kind of daytime stuff as well, man.
Yeah, for real.
No nighttime gigs. It was all, just proper parents there, and I'm just like, this is just really depressing, man. but it was great. No,
of course, it must have been a crazy experience,
because I got to see what it was like to be Posh Spice without any of the side effects. So when I'm in the car with her next to me, we've got these like thousands of people just trying to get into the car, and there's like 20 security guys running with the car, blocking people away. It's like,
wow,
you get a taste of what it's like to have that sort of fame.
Like a dignitary kind of thing, man.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's dark.
So did you get on with her? Was she cool with you? And
yeah, she liked me, man.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Well, I mean, no,
you know me. No, you was cool. You got on really well.
We got on well. She always said that I was cool, and I said, she was a nice girl too. Had she not been with David, maybe something might have happened, but I don't know.
That is so gutty.
But I mean,
so D&B. See, you know what? If there's Facebook and that kind of stuff going around back in them days, damn, who knows? But no, that was cool though. That was a crazy experience. Did you feel under pressure at the time to come up with something, man? Was it real hard work?
It was hard because we were in with the major record companies. We were signed to BMG.
For sure.
And they operate on a completely different level to these drum and bass labels.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You know, they're not very friendly.
Yeah,
because it really is a business there, and the kind of heart and the music gets lost. And I was spending maybe 3 weeks working a tune, and I'd send it in, and the guy would speak to me for maybe 10 seconds and go, yeah, great, okay, good, yeah. And I'd be like, okay, you know, could you know, and that was it, he was gone.
Yeah,
so they never had any time for you. They wouldn't sit with you and go, yeah, no, it's really nice, man, that little bass drop you've done is great. It was just official, and obviously, you know, the touring stuff, as I said, was just, you know, we got to see a lot of the world, went around hotels, countries, everywhere.
Wicked,
you know, it was a great experience, man.
Of course, man. And, you know, you must look back at that as a...
Oh, we did Top of the Pops.
Oh, yeah, no, remember, actually. That's when I was like, damn, that's Johnny.
I did Top of the Pops, man. I did Top of the Pops.
Who was on it? Who was on the episode you was on then?
Do you know what? Oh, yeah, that's right. Who was it? It was this silly little boy band called A1.
Yeah, I remember A1.
A1.
Well, kind of, yeah, because my daughter was very young at the time. That's the reason why. But
there was. Oh yeah, and there was the guy from EastEnders as well, Sid
Owen, Ricky.
Yeah, he was a character, man, because he was sitting backstage drinking pints.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah.
And when he got on, man, he was shaky. You know what I mean? He was
a bit blathered, to say the least.
But no, I mean, it was all good experience.
Wicked, man. Oh, that's crazy, man. And what happened? Did that just?
Well, you know, the funny thing was, we did a short album. We put 3 singles out. The first one was with Dane, called Buggin'.
Okay, yeah.
Second one was Posh Out of Your Mind, and the third one was with Brian Harvey, called True Step Tonight.
Okay.
And after Brian, that kind of was the end of True Steppers.
Yeah.
And after that, we did the album, and then that was the label was sort of like, well, you know, you're not really cutting it now. I had done my thing, and to be honest, I wanted out. You know, I needed a taste, but I couldn't maintain it. Do you know what I mean? For a long period. I mean, I think I can come back to it, but it's very difficult to do hit after hit, man. It's just
that thing's a different world, and I think, you know, in the mid-90s, when I knew a lot of people that got kind of signed up to major labels, we live in the drum and bass world, and everything is kind of like we do it ourselves, but dealing with majors is so scary. It is a totally different world, and I remember a lot of guys coming from doing little studio stuff to meetings with kind of like heads of these business empires, and you know, they were terrified, man, and it was a terrifying experience, man, for a lot of people in the game. And but then I suppose it must be amazing to experience that for a hot minute as well, man.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's got its good and bad moments. Anyway, listen, we are going to talk about the single, which I'm really hoping can get some daytime play and some real love and some chart play, because drum and bass needs a big hit like this. Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about that straight after this. Also, you're going to be going into the mix, so you better get your shizzle together. It is Fabio and Johnny L, brand new from SS. Right, Johnny?
Yeah.
We have got some listeners' questions.
Listen, Fabio, before I've got to thank you for pioneering Oh Yeah, because when I finished that tune, you were the first person I sent it to at 5 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
I gave it to you on a name, and you sent me a text back going, "You're sick."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, for real.
I was wondering if it,
because you wasn't sure about it, was you? You really weren't sure about it.
I'm never sure about anything I do, man.
No, I know.
Yeah, you said you're sick, horrible, all this kind of stuff. And from there on, you know, it got played. I mean, that's the beauty of the internet as well. I mean, if you think in the old days, I would have had to send you a CD.
And it's long, and sometimes the postman nicks it when they see your name on it. No, for real, man. That used to happen so much.
Yeah.
And now it's just incredible that you can just fling me over a tune 10 seconds after you've made it,
Yeah, exactly.
and I can have it ready for my show, man. That is crazy, man. But anyway, listen, we've got some questions from our Radio 1 drum and bass show fans. So I've got to give it a plug, Johnny. I've got to give it a plug.
Okay.
Some of my peeps have been hitting me up because they've got mad love for you. And the first question is, I heard that Johnny L really isn't spotted at that many clubs. I was just curious as what is the reason behind this. I'd love to see him live. But this is so true. You don't go out.
Yeah,
and this
but
is the amazing thing about you.
I don't understand why people are saying this.
What do you mean?
Because I do go out. I just don't go out as much, but I mean, I go and get a doner kebab on Saturday night and things like that. You know what I mean? No.
I think he was meaning don't see you out in the nightclubs.
Yeah, no, I gotta admit, the last 2 years, I've definitely just... not quieting down, but just, you know, you sort of go through phases.
Of course.
And you kind of do a hell of a lot of clubbing, which I've done. I've really killed the club scene.
Yeah.
And then you have a little break from it, and it's just nice to relax and not have that, you know, that thing around you all the time. So it's not actually...
do you like that, though? Are you that kind of person? Are you very private?
Both. No, I'm both. What it is when I go out and get on the social tip, I don't want to sit in a studio, and I want to live the life full stop
the club
of
life,
the club life,
sure,
DJ and all going out. And if I'm in the studio and I'm locked away, I want to keep it that way until I've finished like a set of work, and I find it very hard to actually come out and socialise if I'm, you know, in like a period of maybe a 4-month you know, let off with the music or whatever.
So how, you know, I think that what he was kind of aiming at in a way was, how do you get to make music and you don't really listen to the music? That is quite bizarre. I mean, everyone finds that incredible about you, but do you think that's an advantage to you, that you don't listen to the music because you don't take on board current fads? Yeah,
absolutely, man. I mean, when you're young, you know how important it is to comply. You know, to your peers, to your friends, to DJs, etc. When you don't have that pressure, and you're free to make what you want, which is what I do. I don't listen to a lot of drum and bass. I don't know what's happening at the moment, apart from now.
You just asked me in the break.
Yeah, well, you told me, so now I know everything.
I told you, I was sitting straight.
Yeah, it's great to make music because you come up with individual stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It has a minus as well. I mean, it's good to follow a scene. You know, I don't want to just go off and do my own thing completely. I still want to follow the D&B scene, but just lightly, rather than
just obsessively. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
because I don't think that's a good thing. I'll tell you what, I've seen so many artists, and they never used to really go out, and then they start going out a lot, and their music changes.
Yeah, right.
Because they get affected by, you know, going out to big raves and seeing what gets rewinds and stuff like that. And I can understand, you know, even as a DJ, how, you know, the crowds can affect you slightly, and that's why I think what you do is unique, and it can't be, you know, it's timeless, because you can't really set a time period to it, man, because it could have been made any time in the last 10 years. I mean, stuff like Piper, I mean, which is an incredible tune. I mean, that tune still sounds as fresh today as it did like 10, 11 years ago when it first came out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
slower, but yeah.
But so what are you doing now? What have you been listening to? What do you listen to? Do you listen to rock and stuff like that, or a bit of hip-hop?
I listen to Lionel Richie, man.
Really, Are you being serious?
I do.
From what period, though?
His old stuff. But you know what, right?
Lionel? His last album?
No. Strictly the old. Once, twice, 3 times a lady.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
No, I like... I love Quincy Jones. I love old Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, I really do love songs, but... as far as the beats and stuff, I suppose, for like more hype stuff, I probably listen to a bit of the American Missy.
Do you like Timbaland?
Yeah, I like Timbaland. I mean, I definitely like that stuff. I would say I'm not so much of a rock man, although, you know, the odd electric guitar is good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Can't go wrong. Free Bird.
But you know, whatever really. I mean, what's this new guy? This new guy I've just listened to.
What, from the States? Hip-hop kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't know what his name is. Is it Flow Rider or something?
Flow Rider, yeah. He's got that track Low.
Yeah, there's something in that.
Yeah. So, have you got sensibilities to make pop music? Because you've got it in you. I mean, you know, and nowadays pop isn't pop. Pop's kind of, hip-hop's kind of pop now.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all
you know, there's that.
Yeah.
Timbaland's kind of changed the game because, he's produced a new Madonna and, he shuffles around with his beats, but then he's got these incredible hooks.
Yeah.
And that's what makes these tunes pop, really, but they've still got hip-hop vibes to it. His breaks are still incredibly sharp.
Yeah, I mean, you play those tunes in the car and they sound great.
They sound amazing.
You get the bass and you get all the drums. I mean,
and they're so clean and precise, man.
Yeah.
I like just the way you are. That track sounds so popular on the radio. I went out one night and listened to it, man, in a club. It sounded incredible. The sonic and the amount of work he's put into that sound.
Yeah.
And I suppose that would be a big challenge for you to do some stuff like that, man. I think it'd be really interesting to hear that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think a lot of that really comes down to wicked vocalists. The American sound, if you take the vocals away, it's not American. And the thing with British R&B is they miss something that the Americans have got on the vocals.
Yeah, I think so. And I think also on the overall mix downs don't sound right for me.
No, the mix downs don't sound right. The American mix downs, I don't know if it's the gear they're using or...
Do you know, a prime example of that is Estelle, American Boy, the tune that's #1 at the moment. I mean, she's been trucking around for years. She's gone to America with Kanye West, and he's just made her sound American.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? The way he can produce a song properly, record the vocals right and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it is incredible. But listen, Johnny, we're gonna play one more track and then we're gonna have you in the mix. We need you to get your stuff together, but we're gonna give you 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Johnny L in the mix. This is so exclusive. It's unbelievable.
I haven't mixed for about 10 years, mate, so...
Damn. You better have your A game on tonight.
Yeah, that's a warning, man.
It's Fabio. It's Johnny L. Straight after this, it's Johnny L in the mix. It's the award-winning Radio 1 drum and bass show. But Johnny L is ready. He stepped up to the decks. So for the next 10 minutes or so, world exclusive, Johnny L in the mix. Don't miss it.
Radio on Radio 1.
Wicked stuff, Johnny. Wicked stuff. So listen, John.
Yeah.
Great to have had you here.
Yeah, it's perfect,
Before we
man.
go, what's the release date on Oh Yeah, and what's the deal with that, man?
Oh Yeah on 12 is out right now.
Okay.
And I've got a little radio edit of that, which I've cut in like a little bit more chorus vocals, just edged it up a little bit, and that will be released in sort of within probably the next 8 to 12 weeks.
Okay, man.
But the 12's out now.
Wicked stuff, man.
Yeah.
And what's your MySpace and stuff, man? So
Yeah,
people-
man, I've got to say a big thanks to everyone, all the fans that have written lovely comments to me on MySpace.
Wicked.
And, you know, that helps me make music, so, you know, keep that coming. And I'd like to send a shout out to Chris at ST Holdings, Rico at SRD, the Instrumental Boys, yourself, to the Rider as well, and anyone else that's listening.
So, John, what's going to be next for you? Are you just planning on kind of like going in the studio and just playing with sounds and stuff like that?
That's it. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one, man.
Yeah.
Play with some sounds. But I tell you what, Johnny, it was a absolute pleasure having you here, and you're a guy who's a very personal man, and you know you keep everything close to your chest. But I think that is great, and I think to have someone on the scene that is like that, I think it's a wonderful thing, man, because you've got a quirky edge to everything, man, and you seem to have a lot of fun with it and stuff like that, man. And
definitely, man.
We don't want to lose you from this music, though, man. No matter what you're doing, always come back and reference, man, and make the music and phone me up 4 in the morning and send me dubs and stuff like that online, and you keep doing that, man.
Yeah, definitely,
Because we need you on this scene so much, man. So many thanks, Johnny L, and we've been talking, man, and I'm going to swing by. I'm going to come by and see you, man.
Yeah, man.
Like summertime, we come down and we just like talk and we reason, yeah?
Definitely, yeah, we'll reason.
All right, man. You take care, man.
All right, thanks very much. Yeah.
Many thanks to the mighty Johnny L. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1, it's the Drum and Bass Show. I'm a hardback Gary, man. All right?